Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you a trap called the Lasker Gambit trap, and without any further ado, enjoy the video. So in this trap, white starts off with d4, you play d5, they play c4 turning into the Queen's Gambit, and you play e5. So in most variations, even though if they know this trap, they'll take the pawn. The reason you sacrifice that pawn is so you could advance your d5 pawn onto d4. So there are a few variations on what white could do after this. White could play knight to f3, or they could play e3. So this is where the trap starts. You have to play bishop to b4, checking the king, and obviously the knight cannot go to c3 because of the pawn. So the best move for white to play is bishop to d2, which is what we want them to play in this trap. Then you have to take the pawn on e3, and if the bishop takes the bishop, then you take the pawn on f2. Here's why. Obviously the king cannot take the pawn on f2 because then you'll just take the queen on d1. So the only move for white to do is king to e2. You can already see a pin, which is going to check the king and forcing the king to move, and then take the queen. But obviously we cannot do that because then the knight will just go to f3. So it is very important that when you take the knight, you do not promote it to a queen, but you promote it to a knight. Now the rook will take the knight, and now you can finally play bishop to g4. And after, let's say, king to f2, you just take the queen and you're going to be a queen up.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because...
So now let's say white decides to take the pawn. Then you have to play queen to h4, and for example after g3, you play queen to e4, and knight to f3, for example, you might take the bishop, and after the knight takes, you take the pawn on e3. White is losing by a bit. So if you're white in this position, the best move to play is knight to f3 instead of e3. And for example, after a simple move like knight to c6, you play a3. Thank you so much for watching until the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe.
Everybody